Hey, beautiful people. How are you? Hey, Galway. Hey, Lisa Free Spirit. Coffee Chat, your main girl, Kaysen. Whew. What a crazy few days, you guys. Sorry it took me so long to get here. I had to get some email from my son. How's everyone doing today? Can you guys hear me at all? Hey, Lisa. Hey, Clancy. So I wanted to just talk about a few things that kind of bothered me from yesterday, right? Bella. No. No. Silly dogs. I'm going to talk about Laura because I can, because this is a platform where we can come and discuss things. And if it has to do with other creators, then so be it. You're not going to get me to stop doing what I'm doing, just like nobody's going to stop you from doing what you're doing. But we can all talk about it. Hey, Honor Rose, how are you? Thank you, darling. Welcome to the Enlightened. Hey, Clary. It's pretty bad and it's pretty sad when you are so jealous that somebody came up with an idea that you have to make fun of what they have on their Amazon wish list. You literally told someone to go to a Goodwill if they needed a vacuum. You didn't think that was for kids, right? Honestly, it is, because somebody was able to buy that for a family member. Now, maybe that family member or mom or whoever it went to will now have the extra money to buy something special for their children. This has bothered me ever since you said this about this vacuum, you know. Then last night, Laura, she literally sat there, oh gosh, and said, I want to see receipts from Tracy or from Diane or Wendy from what they bought off of those wish lists. See, Laura, that's none of your business, because when you do something from your heart, you don't have to prove how much you spent. You don't have to prove you spent anything at all. Just the fact that people are sharing those wish lists is what means the most. If I have any mods in here that would like to drop those Amazon links, that would be great. Hey, Mommy of Three Girls. She is jealous. I mean, she cannot keep Diane and Wendy out of her mouth for anything. She says that we're obsessed with her, right? Well, Laura, you're pretty obsessed with Diane and Wendy. Just saying. Hey, Jennifer Marie, how are you? And Laura, Clary, thank you. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the Enlightened and Brilliant Mistakes. Welcome. Laura, if you're going to put me in your community page or whatever, make sure you don't have me blocked. It's been 5-6 days and I had no idea that you put me in a community post with Pixie. What did Pixie and I ever do to you? Like, we are not trolling you. That's like the furthest things from our minds is trolling you. So you need to get that shit straight. Galway, welcome. Skippy B. You know, you sit there and you talk about how much you bust your ass and how you do this and how you do that. What do you think other single parents do, Laura? You're not the only single parent out there. It's not all about you. It's not all about your kids. It's about other people's kids too. That's why these Amazon wish lists are being shared around so people can be selfless and give back, to pay it forward, if you will. You are the only one in this community that has said, show me the receipts of what you bought and how much you bought. Nobody has to prove shit, Laura. It's not a competition. You are the only person in this community that makes every single thing a competition. Good morning, Mandy, Mixed Media Queen. And Diane, good morning. You know, I'm pretty upset that Laura brought up sarcasm, and I'm on fire that she brought up anything that had to do with Tawanda. Laura, you did not raise $1,500 for Tawanda, and you treated sarcasm like shit. We don't need to go back down that road. You were an awful friend. You are so arrogant. You are so arrogant. You literally said TNT is making money off of trashing me. I hope she enjoys it. She's not keeping that money, Laura. What part do you not understand? And it's not making money off of you. She did the right thing by calling some shit out. She raised $1,800 and changed for wait. That's why it's being questioned. Look, I'm going to admit this. I am not good at being up on panel by myself. If anybody wants to come up here with me, I'd be much obliged. You literally said that sarcasm scammed you. That's a blatant lie. I have every single video that pertained to sarcasm and her son. I have everything you've ever said about sarcasm. I dare you to ever mention her again or her son again. Because that's going to give me a lot of content, because I'm going to bust your ass on that shit. You treated her awful. You have a pattern of treating people awful. If they don't do what you want, or if they don't go by what you say, you view them as an enemy. You literally said last night, the live that got deleted, you literally said, I'll never go to Trisha's channel again. I don't want to see anything Trisha does. So because she spoke some truth, you're just going to throw her away like she means nothing. She was good to you, Laura. Seems like all the people that's ever been good to you, you throw them away and view them as an enemy now. Why is that? Hey, Potty Mouth Mama, it's good to see you. Laura never does anything original. She's so bent because she didn't come up with this Amazon wish list. So she has to trash Diane and Wendy for doing it. And then she comes up with one of her own to share around for her people. Why can't people put their differences aside, right? And come together as a community and do something good for kids that might need the help, regardless of what side they're on? That shouldn't matter. Why not be a community of people that want to help no matter who they follow? Oh, shit. Sorry, Trace. I didn't see you.
That's okay. I guess I missed last night with her.
Well, there's a good lady in this community that puts them on her channel. So I watched it at 1.75 speed, and I'm just like, wow.
You'll have to message me who that is. We won't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I just got a text message.
Hey, Callie. Good morning.
It says, Sarah, can you please ask Diane to clear up the fact that we, the subs, did not donate for the $100 gift cards? It's driving me nuts, and subs of hers were making nasty comments about Diane.
Yeah, I seen some of those comments, and I'm like, what has Diane ever done to any of these people? Like, absolutely nothing. You know, Diane's never wished death on any of them or say that the wrong person committed suicide. You know, all Laura ever does is trash Diane. She age shames Diane. She says the most god-awful things about me and you. She talks awful about Tawanda. Everybody that goes against what she believes, she will trash.
Brian, it wasn't an actual fundraiser. TNT started out a stream yesterday because she was so upset over what Laura and Makeup Mobster had done. And the next thing you know, money starts flying in. She had no idea it was going to work out that way because she won't get that money in time to purchase off of Wishlist, Amazon Wishlist. She says she's just going to convert it to cash and send cash via PayPal or Cash App in hopes that people will have time to do something that they need to get done for the holidays. That's what she told me. But it was not a fundraiser. People just came together and started donating money. So it was not a fundraiser.
No, it wasn't a fundraiser at all. And Trisha even said, I'm going to pay it forward. She's not keeping that money. And she said she would show receipts. I believe her on that. Trisha was absolutely touched by all this yesterday. Like, she was in tears. She believed in this so much, she went against what her quote unquote friend was doing. She has empathy.
I said yesterday, and I mean it today, I do not understand how this became such a horrible thing to want to help people. I don't have any receipts to offer Laura unless she wants to see the receipt for my $260 inhaler that insurance won't cover, or for the deposit I had to put down on my oxygen machine.
It's none of her business, Tracy. It's none of her business what people give.
I mean, I haven't
as long
had
as
the
they're doing
opportunity
the best
to,
they can.
You know, I was really hoping that, you know, when my Patreon money comes through or whatever, that I could get something off of the wish list. I hope I can. You know, I know my son is 34, but I'd still like to make sure that he has something under the tree.
Don't allow her to put a guilt trip on you.
Well,
you're doing the best you can with what you've got. Just like Remy said. She said she wanted receipts of all the purchases to see who bought what. She put up proof of purchase without redacting the username.
Trisha said, I'm paying a phone bill tomorrow and feeding 4 families. What's Laura doing? I don't know what. I don't get. I miss Laura's. I missed it. So I can only imagine what was said. I don't know why she thinks somebody owes her a receipt for buying something off of a wish list that she thinks is ridiculous. You know, because people don't need pots and pans. They don't need vacuum cleaners. They don't need, and it's called a wish list, not a need list. So yes, kids, I'm sorry, they're more expensive nowadays. Oh, Terry Lynn, thank you.
Terry Lynn.
Kids are more expensive nowadays. So they're going to put controllers. They're going to put, you know, they're going to wish for those kind of things. You know, it's just what it is. It's today's, you know, and I'll be honest with you, I don't care what Laura gets for her kids. I want Laura's kids to have a Merry Christmas. Diane never brought up her children's Christmas presents, ever. So why is she running with this?
Because she wasn't included.
But everybody was included. Diane made it clear that she wanted the community to come together and do this. Now,
Look,
it just so happens
yesterday
that
on
my
her
technical
live,
wizard is down for the count right now.
she's mad that Diane thought of this first, because even Laura said yesterday, quote, "I am queen bitch of this community." She had the audacity to say that. Like, she literally believes that in her own deluded mind. She
Well,
truly
1 out of
believes
2 isn't bad. She's the queen of nothing. She's the bitch of everything. So,
right?
I mean, she really, honestly, she said the other day, me and Makeup Mobster are taking back our community. Okay, well, if it's just going to be you and Makeup Mobster, move along. Go
They
ahead.
were literally making fun of people for what they had in their wish lists. Maybe that's things they couldn't afford. So yeah, it's a wish list. Guess what? Those pots and pans are going to be able to cook for some kid.
And trust me, Laura, you might need a new vacuum cleaner too, because sometimes you show you
Lord, we've seen
accidentally,
that carpet. Whew. She needs
yeah,
more than a vacuum cleaner. Shit.
sometimes you accidentally show and for God's sakes, pick up that red Solo cup. I'm so tired of seeing that thing. But I mean, come on. It's Christmas. Who doesn't want to see a child, especially a child, have Christmas? Who doesn't want that? If I had $1 million, then 500,000 kids would have a Christmas. You know
It's
what I'm
not,
saying?
yeah, and it's not our business what's on anyone's wish list. If it's something that they truly need or want, then why not help that family out? I bought something for someone's pet, like a little outfit. I thought that was an adorable thing to do. What if they have a child that wants to cuddle up with pictures with a little outfit on their dog? That's for the family. A pet is a part of the family. Hi, IBL. How are you today?
Sometimes that's all somebody has is their pet.
Yeah, that can be considered their kid. I think all my dogs are my kids. They act worse than my kids, but still, they're still my kids.
I just don't know how this turned into the mess that it is. It's nothing but a good thing, and there should be nothing ugly attached to it. You know, nobody, I don't get it. I just woke up one morning and something that I thought Diane was doing out of the goodness of her heart had turned into something so ugly.
We're in a pandemic. I mean, there's a lot of people out here that have lost jobs, that have lost their income. So any kind of paying it forward, it'll come back to you in return, like in a good way. Why knock somebody for what they have on a list? Why not just help them out and not say anything about it? It's not our business what people have on their wish lists.
Well, and now I'm being told that she pinned her receipt
Yeah.
for who she bought for on the wish list. And although it's a YouTube name, I don't think that needs to be out there. I mean, I would
No.
never go on one of those lists and buy something for somebody and say, oh, well, I bought something off of, and I'm just going to use IBL as a example. Oh, well, I bought something off IBL's list. Why does that have to be out there? I mean, it can only be so anonymous. I mean, there's only so much Diane can do to keep it anonymous. But now you're going to pin a receipt where you purchase something showing somebody's where
She caused 2 people to take their wish list down. Laura did that. Why would you even do that? And why would you make fun of somebody for wanting a vacuum cleaner? Why would you tell them to go and buy one at the Goodwill?
Well, I just found out this morning, and I want to send a shout out to the people in my Patreon Discord. And I just found out this morning that somebody's wish list is almost completed. That I will never say whose wish list it is, but it was going to be a late entry. So instead of sending it to Diane, they kept it within the Discord. And congratulations to the people of my Discord. I had no idea
Yeah.
until this morning.
You have a lot of great people in that Discord. You really do. A lot of people that are very selfless and
It was going to be
good-hearted
a
people.
it was going to be a late entry to, to Diane's, and it turns out that I got up this morning, I did a small Discord call, and they're like, "Hey, don't worry about so and so. We got it taken care of." It literally brought me to tears. I was like, "Oh my God, thank God."
Yeah. I can't stand seeing people that are just filled with so much hate and anger that, they have to trash what people need and want and make fun of it. Like, that bothers me to the core, and it's bothered me since yesterday. And I didn't say anything yesterday because there was a lot of lives going on, but man, I can't shake it. I mean, okay, Christmas is about giving. It's about perpetual hope. It's about love. And you are filled with so much anger, man. Give it up for at least a month. Stop trashing people and just help. Just be kind. It's not all about Laura. It's not the Laura show. There's more people in this community, and you're so self-absorbed, you make everything about you, and that aggravates the piss out of me.
Ems, they were as anonymous as Diane could keep them. What's being used are people's YouTube names, but it was never meant to go on public display. I mean, most people with tact would go
Well,
in.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not showing my receipt, because the person's name is on it. And I don't want to redact it because I'm not trying to prove to the community that I bought someone something. It's not about that at all. Nobody needs to be showing receipts. It's
There's
called
another
paying it
one in the
forward.
crowd that's very giving, and that's my Four Seasons. She's a very giving person. Take my word for it.
Oh, she's a gem.
She
And
doesn't do
Laura
it.
has trashed this woman, like,
Yep.
vigorously. She's trashed her. And my Four Seasons has never been nothing but kind. She's tried to be kind to Laura, and
Me
Laura,
too,
she's
Tatum.
such an ignorant asshole. She wants no part of it. If anybody's getting attention, Laura thinks it should be her.
Oh, M said it didn't even show for her. Good, good. But
Good,
here's the
good.
thing: anybody with any tact, okay, and okay, I'm going to pick somebody out of the crowd now. Remy. Sorry, Remy. I know you get picked out of the crowd a lot, but if Remy had a wish list and I bought something off of it for her, there is no way I would show a receipt showing Remy's name, even her YouTube name, which is Remy. I just wouldn't do it. And the fact
Diane
that
said I worked
people
with them.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I worked with a lot of the people making lists to help them to make sure their real name and addresses would not show. I know you did, Diane, but it still doesn't need to be put out there unless you're going to purchase something off those lists. Sweet crazy, you can go under Diane's uh her live streams for the last two live streams, and the links are in there. But I would still
Yeah,
never say, "Oh, well, I bought for Sweet Crazy or I bought for Samara." I would never do that.
she wanted recognition. You're right, Tiffany. That's all it was about.
Diane, I think Laura pinned her receipt of who she purchased off of a wish list. And
Yeah, she had it in
maybe
her
it's
live last night.
maybe it's one of her own people and they don't care, you know.
Laura did. She had to prove her receipts. And she said, Diane and Tracy need to prove their receipts and show their receipts for the people they bought for on the wish list. No, Diane, Tracy, Wendy, nobody has to prove shit to you, Laura. Nobody. You thought you was doing the right thing by showing a receipt. Well, that had someone's name on it. Good job.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm still just reeling in how did something that was supposed to be so joyous and so, you know, so right turn into something so freaking wrong.
You know, she's not the only single mother in this community. She's just not. There's a lot of people that struggle. And so Laura had to sit there and, you know, totally ignore what might be going on with these people with their wish lists. But she had to bring up how she was a single mother and how it's so rough for her and tough for her and how her kids didn't matter. Laura, every kid matters. But I'm telling you now, it's not the Laura show all the time. It's not all about you. You need to let that sink in. There's other people in this community that need help too. So this wish list that Diane started is a wonderful thing. You're just jealous because you didn't think of it first.
I don't, I don't, I want to say I love you too to somebody that's messaging me right now. I don't even know if she's watching, but I don't know. People would be amazed at what goes on, the good things that go on behind the scenes, not just the creepy shit. And there's a lot of
Yeah,
good
and
things that go on behind the scenes as far as helping people with PayPals or, you know, Thanksgiving dinners or, helping pay an internet bill here or there. There's a lot of good things that go on. Exactly, Brown Eyed Girl. It's not just single moms that are suffering, families are suffering.
yeah. You know, Diane and Wendy didn't go after you as a single mom. They reacted to your vileness. They reacted to your ignorance. They reacted because you say some of the things you say, which are just absolutely false, absolutely ignorant. So, yeah, there's going to be people call you out, just like you call people out. You
Hey,
know, it's not like every.
why don't you give Diane a wrench and let her drop those in here since
I
they're
don't know
her
if I know.
link?
Let's
I don't
see.
know.
Let
I
me
don't know how to
see.
go over there and grab all those links. If I start pushing
Yeah, I
buttons,
don't
I'm
either.
screwed.
Um,
If I start pushing buttons, I swear I'll end up in like a chop shop auction site or something. I swear.
oh my
But
gosh.
if you want to donate, those links are being dropped in Trisha's. Um, they're being dropped in Diane's. They're underneath Diane's live streams. Diane don't have them available right this second, but they're there to get. Jenna Moon was dropping them, so they're there to get. And I'm sorry, I just think just the thought of little kids waking up on Christmas morning with a smile on their face to me is just, I don't know. I guess I just think that's the best feeling in the world.
Look, I don't ask anybody for anything. I don't want anything from anyone. The thing that makes me happy at Christmas is watching my kid open a present. Even if it's like a $5 present, just seeing him happy is what matters.
Yes, under Wendy V's last video, she dropped all those links. And that's like Tatum just said, it brings her joy to give a gift than it does
Yeah.
to receive it. And I'm the same way. I said the other day, I've always felt awkward getting a gift. It's always made me feel awkward. But by
Thank
God,
you, Sandy.
being able to hand one over to somebody, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. to be able to. I told you the story and about when my son was in full blown heroin use.
Mm-hmm.
And Christmas Eve, I was asleep, and he came in, and he's like, "Mom," he said, "so and so we just spent all of his money on dope, and he found out he's going to have his little girl in the morning, and she's not going to have nothing." And my son's really stressed out, even though he's really high. He's really stressed out, and here I go. I get up, I get dressed. We go to the only place that's open, which is Walgreens. And I buy everything I can buy for a little girl. What was left? Barbies. There was this little dog you put batteries in that does flips. Hello, Sambell.
And that's what matters the most, Tracy. You did what you could. You made someone happy by doing that.
Well, I couldn't stand the fact that that little girl was going to, it's bad enough that she's
Right.
she's the daughter of an addict, and I'm not getting on him. I mean, people have their problems. My son has a heart the size of Texas, whether he's using or not. But this little girl,
Tracy, I
even
get it.
my son
Yeah.
came in and he's like literally in tears, and he's like, "Mom, so and so just told me that he's got his daughter and she's not gonna wake up with anything." And I couldn't take it. I got up off the couch at 2 o'clock in the freaking morning, and Walgreens was 24 hours. And there we went. We got coloring books and crayons and Barbie dolls and a little doll with a little stroller, a shopping cart with little pretend groceries, you know, and called up his dealer, said, "Come and get it." Because you know what? Even children of addicts deserve Christmas. All kids deserve Christmas.
When I was in the midst of my addiction, I mean, Christmas sucked. It depressed me because I knew I couldn't do anything for my kids. I'm so grateful that I had family members like my grandparents or my dad to help them at Christmas. And it's not that I was selfish. I mean, I guess because, I put my drug of choice before my kid, I guess I was. But man, I sit and I look back and I'm like, I don't know. It's really hard being an addict during the Christmas time.
I will be forever grateful for any help. Our local agencies aren't a guarantee. Hey, welcome, Misnomer, to the what is it? I'm sorry, I'm trying to help you out here as your co-host. To the enlightenment or what is it? Sarah.
Oh, the enlightened.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Misnomer. Thank you. Sorry, I was reading an email. Persian McPrincess. Absolutely. Look, I am not good at multitasking. I apologize.
Love Shack Sarah.
Persians.
Even the local organizations, they're running low. People are in dire need right now. So, you could go and get on a list of Shop with the Cop, or I know that's something we have around here is Shop with the Cop. But what's wrong I'm with Diane. I don't think any of this after today, I'm not discussing it. If you've got a list, make sure you keep your list up there. Nobody gives a shit about what a couple people say.
She said, "I'm sorry, but for Laura to say she's going to make an Amazon wish list for her was sick." And you know what? She bought a brand new keyboard that she had in her front seat, yet she needs to do a wish list for herself and her kids. Good job there, Mom. Good job.
Well, I don't even
is
care.
more important than kids' Christmas. Why don't you sit there and let people that actually need Christmas for their kids do the wish list? Obviously, you're set. If you can buy a brand new keyboard for yourself, you can buy your kids Christmas gifts. And I don't give a shit if she does come for me for saying that, because there are a lot of people in this community and outside in the real world that do need help, that have lost their jobs. This pandemic has screwed up so many people's home lives. It's not even funny. People are losing their homes. People don't have food to eat next week or even today for that matter. This period in time sucks. This is like something we've never seen before in this country. But you're going to sit there and tell somebody to go buy a vacuum at the Goodwill. Jesus. God, that bothered me. Or pots and pans. Them pots and pans could probably potentially make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for some kids.
Persian,
Asshole.
I tried to get help that way for Christmas, but the cutoff age was 13.
Hey, Dova. Yeah, Jules, you're absolutely right. Where'd it go? Even people with empathy have lost their jobs. Yeah.
Persian, that's the problem, is people think that kids, you know, they're the ones that are forgotten. That's an age group in which people forget. So some of the things you are seeing on this wish list are very much for teenagers, and they seem to be the forgotten ones. And please, if you're able to donate, please don't forget them. If you're able. If not, say a prayer, man. They're free.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
And
13.
thank God for the people.
There should be no
Thank God for the
cutoff.
people in. Sorry, Tracy.
Go ahead.
Thank God for the people in this community that are able to give to families in need. Thank God for them, because now some kids are going to be happy this Christmas. You don't know what their home lives are like. So for you to sit there and critique what people have on their wish list is bullshit. It's none of your business what they have on their wish list.
The truth, exactly. That's why we are skipping Christmas this year. Persian, I don't know why you wouldn't have reached out to the community for help.
Persian, there's so many of us that would help you. Why didn't you say something? I'm not rich by no means, but any extra that I do have, I do like to help people.
My 18-year-old son, who goes to school and works part-time, took $200 of his own money, adopted a kid through his school, and took him shopping. That is so cool, Babe Beauty. That is so cool. I want to personally say thank you to your 18-year-old son. That is exactly something that my son would do. And that's how we raise our children. That's all about in how you raise your children. So everybody give a shout out to Babe Beauty's 18-year-old son, because that was a spectacular. Samara, Persian Princess, make an Amazon wish list and give it to one of us. People want to help.
I'll put it on my community page. Anything to help. If I can afford it, I'll even help you. That's what Christmas is about. That's what this community should be about. Should be helping those in need, instead of, being selfish and sitting up on a panel crying about how awful the community is to you. Maybe you could pay it forward by helping someone else out. I guarantee you that'll make you feel a little bit better about yourself there, Laura.
I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to Laura, I just don't know, why she couldn't get up. Okay, they did their live stream. It started out as, let's make fun of these lists. And then it turned into some of her people did purchase things, and Diane thanked them. It's on a clip. Diane thanks them for making these purchases. But why not just say, okay, we were just being petty Bettys and we shouldn't have done that, and move on?
Well, Makeup Mobster had to go live and do damage control for Laura.
Oh,
and then she had to sit there and bash everybody. That's what those two do. It's all about them. It's never about helping someone else out that might need help. It's always about them. And they always have to insert themselves into every single situation that goes on in this community, even when it pertains to them, not 1%. And then Laura sits there and wonders why people don't like her or have something to say about her. Because you always have to insert yourself and say something shitty to people, or you have to bash someone or make fun of them. Why don't you go to the Goodwill, Laura, and get your damn self a vacuum? Your floor absolutely needs it.
I bet the Goodwill probably had keyboards too. Or go to a pawn
Boom.
shop. Which I could care less. Here's the thing. If Laura came on a live stream and said her kids weren't going to have Christmas or whatever, I would help. I would do the, I don't want to see nobody wants to see Laura's kids go without Christmas. Nobody.
That's a really touchy subject, Diane. I'm sorry that she wanted to know why you didn't have any kids. Some people can't have children. They're a makeup mobster. Why would you ask somebody that? That's none of your business.
And some people just choose not to. Sometimes you get to a point in your life that you're not with the right person, and you get to that age where you're like, and I don't know Diane's story, it's not my business. But you get to that age where you're like, okay, I'm really getting to the point where children don't fit into, my lifestyle. Why would anybody question why somebody does or does not have children? It's kind of like throwing mandolin in her face for having 6 of them. She has 6 kids because she loves them.
And she wanted them. Obviously, why make fun of somebody for how many children they have or not having any children? I would almost give anything to give my husband a child, but I can't. So now it's either he stays with me and just, loves me regardless, or he'll have to find someone to have a kid with. But I think he's going to stay with me. So I'm grateful for that. But that means that he's never going to have a child of his own. And I feel awful about that. I don't know.
I don't know either. I just, at this point, it's time to just ignore the negativity coming from over there and just, just ignore it. There's so many people out there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still flabbergasted for the last 2 or 3 days how this became the mess that it is.
Hybrid Pisces, I'm so grateful for him, but I still feel bad because, his last name's not going to get to be carried on, or he's not going to be able to have a little girl. And I know he wants kids. So I'm sitting there like, well, crap. I feel bad. I guess I don't know why I feel so bad about that, but I do.
I don't know.
I'm grateful, though. I'm grateful he's good to my kids or kid. So.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, I'm grateful that, your kid's going to have Christmas. I want this is, oh God, I'm going to need a therapy session soon. I hope she's calling soon. Because my problem is, I swear to God, she's always telling me, you're always trying to fix the world. You cannot fix the world, but I want to. It doesn't change my want. I know I can't, but I want to.
Remy, I would love to get a surrogate. I think they're really expensive. I haven't really looked into that. Oh my gosh, I would love to, though. I don't know. I'll be 41 in like 2 weeks. I might be getting too old to think about surrogacy.
I don't want no more of them little suckers. I don't want no more of them little suckers at all. But I do want to see every one of them little suckers have have something under a tree. There's kids living in tents.
Hey, Gone Girl Gone. Hey, Mac 11. Yeah, I'd love to have more kids. I mean, I love animals and I love kids. I'd love to have more, but I can't. And I do think that surrogacy, to have a surrogate is like tens of thousands of dollars, isn't it?
Well, I think you pay their medical bills during the pregnancy
Oh, God.
plus a bonus of like two you settle on something 20,000.
Mm. I love you, Brooke. I seen that Brooke got deleted just for having an opinion, and Laura deleted her yesterday. And I feel bad for Brooke because Brooke's always kind and she's always good with her words. It was sad to see her comment get deleted, all because she likes Diane and Wendy. That's all that was about. That's pretty sad. It's pretty sad that Laura says, well, there is no division in this community. Yes, there is. You're telling your people that if they go into Diane's, you never want to see them in your chat again, to stay away from you. That's petty as shit. Did you maybe think that people like going to your channel and Diane's channel? Why does there have to be this big divide? Why are you putting that on people? Now people won't want to chat because you said that. They're too afraid to chat because you said that.
I don't know.
Yeah, Samara, I saw that. Miss Behaven was attacked yesterday for giving an opinion. I didn't see Sunny Side Up's. Maybe I did. Maybe Sunny Side Up did get deleted. It's sad. I think that everybody should be able to go to any chat they want. And even if they support a creator, who cares? Let them go wherever they want. Yes, coffee chat, send me one. $40,000, Cricket? Oh my gosh. I definitely
Okay, well, I'm
don't have
going to
that.
jump down because my audio is screwed up. Don't go unlive just because I'm jumping down. So
I never know what to talk about afterwards.
no, you keep talking. Somebody else come up and
Okay.
talk to Sarah.
Yeah, come
My
talk to me.
audio's messing up.
Well, thank you for coming up, Tracy. I'm grateful for you. Someone come and hang out with me. It's been a boring day, man. It's like yucky out and it's been snowing, and I was like, this stuff has been bothering me, and that's what our platforms are for, is to talk. It doesn't always have to be fun and games. You talk about what you want on your panel, and nobody should be able to dictate what someone else does on their channel. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Hey, Top Cop. Now I'm sitting here and I'm not. Oh, there's Mac 11. Hey, love. How are you?
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
We looked into surrogacy years ago, Sarah, and it was over 100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Really?
the legal fees for the surrogate mother, you want to make sure that they're covered, our lawyer said, and then for us. The medical fees in the U.S. would be an added, right? And that could go from something simple to something far more complicated, or if there's multiple, births, like if there's more than one. And then they have a fee. Well, every country's different, but salaries are charged, and it can range anywhere from 40,000 to 130,000. It depends. I mean, some women, that's
Yeah.
their career. Can you imagine? Anyway, yeah, it's
Yeah,
costly.
it's very expensive. That's why I don't think I'd ever be able to do it.
Yeah. And then the worries that it is a little bit dicey in making certain you have complete parental controls, I don't know. We went through a lot of these. Then we listed with semi-open adoption. So that was the best for us. And we were chosen just after we left the West. And that just means that we know who the parents are, and they're kind of in the child's life if they want to be. and a lot of them don't want or need to be. Maybe they just want one picture. Eh. So anyway, yeah, the wish list thing really has upset me, and it's more blessed to give than receive. And if I ever hear a definition of needs versus wants again, I'm going to throw up.
I know it. I mean, it doesn't matter to me what anyone has on their wish list. I mean,
No.
if they have a wish list, we shouldn't dictate if they should or shouldn't have something on that. It's obviously something that they want. Why not pay it forward and give?
Exactly. Well, yeah, my sister lives in a nursing home, like apartments complex. She calls
Mhm.
me every day. Old Eddie down the way, he needs a pot. And I'm thinking, okay. Like, I'll go, it's not going to be a top end pot, but if he needs a pot, and I'll do whatever I can. Maybe it's not the biggest pot, but Betty says he needs a pot, or she noticed his pot was outside all burned. I don't think I'll get an expensive one, but you just do what you
I
can.
want to
I
get
don't
one of
know.
those Instapots. I hear they're pretty nice.
Oh, you mean like like an electrical unit that you plug in separately?
Mhm.
Yeah, they are.
I want to get one of those.
That is kind of cool for sure.
Do
Yeah.
you have any plans for this Christmas?
Well, wake up and cook. You know what though?
Yeah.
I always put my turkey in the night before, around midnight, and it's a butterball
Oh.
stuff cooked from frozen. And I get the
Mhm.
temperature high, and I have it in the oven for about an hour and a half, and then I bring the temperature down to about 250 through the night. And oh my God, when you wake up the next morning, the smell of turkey all through the house is enough to kill you. And you cover it well. Like usually the cover won't fit over, so I put a lot of like loose sitting aluminum foil and onions and bacon and stuff like that. But it's
Mhm.
really kind of, and I mean it takes longer to cook one of those, but we have an oil stove in the basement, so I just whack up the heat and then put the vegetables on. We're going to Zoom with my sister because our province here says no, just who are in your bubble, and that old guy Eddie is is in my sister's bubble, so she's going to invite him to her apartment for a turkey
Oh.
dinner. There's a bunch of them she's going to invite. And they're all getting excited. What should I wear? So I don't think some of them have had a right turkey dinner in years. So, and some more, I want to bring stuff. So it's kind of cute. They're going to make the
Yeah.
best of it. Yeah.
I'm
And
hoping that we
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
What are your plans?
Well, I'm hoping that we can, do Christmas with the in-laws and Brandon's sister and fiance, but I don't know. They kind of have us on lockdown at the moment. I just hope it doesn't get any worse.
Are you in full throttle lockdown or like stage 2?
More we have a curfew and you can only
Yeah.
have a certain amount of people in your home, for the holidays. I
Yeah.
don't really know what number that is. I haven't really looked into it.
That sounds
So,
like stage 2 here, where you can kind of have
mhm.
people, but you had to have been interacting with them all along. Like apparently in your country, Thanksgiving, there's every 35 seconds somebody new is dying of COVID in the United States,
Yeah,
which is a bit frightening.
it
Mind you,
is.
yeah, Canada's getting as bad in some provinces, so they're just trying to keep it. Like I mean, our province isn't like one of the wealthy oil provinces, so everybody here has really been trying hard to follow everything we've been told to do, well, for better or for worse. And that's what puts a slant on this Christmas. My God, think of the number of people who've lost folks and who've had to take any extra pennies to buy their masks, their sanitizing garb, and you know what I mean? They maybe couldn't buy the
Mhm.
kids the clothes that they needed for school or whatever, or the kids were in isolation or going back into home education, all kinds of things. I mean, I saw something on Trisha, not Trisha's comment section. Gretchen mentioned that nobody in all her family and extended are sick. Gretchen, the great
Oh
Nikki.
God.
And
Yeah.
she says she doesn't want to put out a list. I really wish she would, because I'd gladly help.
She would too. Hey, Doll Factory, how are you?
Is there anybody else ready to come up? I mean, I don't have much to say. It's just, I think, I don't know.
I love having you up. I think you're great.
I think what
I
bothers
like
me,
talking to you.
I stopped by one live and I couldn't listen very long. My stomach rather turned. And it was telling everybody that, 1 year we didn't have a lot of money and so we didn't have much Christmas. Well, isn't that the way we all do it? But it's gone beyond. It's gone beyond. I mean, it's not wants. It is basic needs. End of story. And I thought, oh, what audacity. I don't know. I've never felt like I'm above anybody else. Have you? That you would
No,
point a finger
absolutely
at
no.
them and, like I wish Truth would make a list.
Yeah, it gets on my nerves when I see people, say I'm better than you, or
Yeah.
my community is better than yours, or I'm queen bitch. I can't stand people like that.
You know
Their
what
arrogance just really gets under my skin.
would be fun some years down the road, is if we all made kind of like a goofy little list. And okay, so there might be 20 lists, and you wouldn't know it's me, and I might buy something really crazy that goes to you, and I sign it from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or something. Like gag gifts. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Hmm.
And you can find them
Yes.
pretty cheap on Amazon. Just something to add a little bit of the laughter. That's all.
See, we do that at Christmas. Usually, every Christmas we go out to eat as a family. So we'll buy
Really?
these yeah, there's like 15 to 20 of us, and it's on my husband's
Oh
side
my
of the
God.
family. We'll go to a nice restaurant or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
then after dinner, we'll pick numbers, and then everybody gets to pick a gift and kind of like gag gifts or
Ah,
whatever. But that is so fun, and I just really hope
yeah,
that we can do that again this year. But
that's
with
an
the
idea.
pandemic, I don't know if we will be able to or not.
Yep, that's a good idea. At my husband's party, um, and it's just like the staff. Um, he's always gotten his own gift back, and I said, "Well, why don't we put it in a box that looks like it's something big, and somebody might take it?" Because they're always checking his back, but they never see him put it there. I don't know why. And it's usually gift cards, like for the nearest coffee place or whatever. So I mean, it's not a bad gift. I said, God, why do you always end up bringing yours back home? But they're actually closing their the whole community down this Friday or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shutting her down, going to stage 3 lockdown. One case
Oh
in there,
gosh, that's
and
terrible.
yep, one case of COVID in a closed community. But if you're a closed community, yeah.
They're talking about closing my son's school down. He was on a 14-day quarantine because I guess the kid that sits next to him on the bus came up positive for COVID. And they're sending email after email saying that, the Christmas break might start early because of all the
Yeah,
positives that are in school.
yes, and extend longer too.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was lamenting at first about, Christmas, but blah, blah, blah. And really now, I think I'm having my Christmas now, if I, trying to go through the list and help every list out a little bit. I'm only, getting one thing for each list, but at least I'm trying. You know, and I know there's
Yeah.
people that are in the chat that can't help. That's fine. Of course not everybody. And I wish if people needed something desperately or would like to have something, if they just make a little list, a list up, send it to Diane. She'll vet them, and put the list out. I think Trish, if somebody could get in touch with Trish, not Trish, some of her lists don't have the email connection, and it just
Mm.
says address for and such's account. They don't have any shipping address to it. So I ended up having to delete the cart on 2 of the items, and I know Diane's were all fixed, all her links. So if
Mm-hmm.
somebody's in touch with Trish, not Trish, to ask her to go put something in a cart, then go to checkout and she'll see. She can only send it to herself. And that means they haven't, and it has to be the person who makes the list. And we've got lots of time to fix all those things up now.
Oh, absolutely. And nobody should have to prove that
Yeah.
they, bought something off of a list. Nobody, I don't understand why Laura's telling people that they need to prove it. As long as you know that you're paying it forward, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Nobody else needs to know, you know, except the person that's going to be receiving the gift. And you're making that person's Christmas. So that's all that matters at the end of the day.
There's some little old ladies. Well, now there are some gentlemen as well in the nursing home, but they passed away. And one was younger than us, and he got cancer and passed away this year. So we have ladies, and we're getting them, Christmas pins, like not the cheapest and not very expensive, and hankies. You know what little old ladies
Oh,
used to have with the
yeah.
like embroidery on them. And I know they'll be a hit because I gave them to them a couple of years ago. So not big things, but you know, enjoyable as well. I couldn't think of anything else. If you're 98, then I think that might do it. I
Hey,
don't know.
Sabrina, how are you, darling?
When we were in the West, I taught grade 1 for about 4 years there. And the one nursing home was right across the road from our school. And my little ones, a lot of them either lived so far away from the grandparents or the grandparents had passed away. Then one year I said, let's go over and visit over there at the seniors home. So they made up little cards, and some of them brought in the stuffed toys to give them. I said, well, now some of them people didn't. Well, wait a day, teacher. Let's give us a chance to all bring some. And they all brought in old stuffed toys. I died.
Wow.
And gave them away along with the cards. And you know, they wanted them to come back, and we did. We'd start going about every 2 months. It was just as great for the kids as it was for the residents, really.
Oh, yeah. My grandmother used to crochet these little blankets for people in the nursing
Oh,
homes. And there's nothing better than seeing these elderly people smile when you bring them something like that. It's
yeah.
it's it's such a beautiful thing. I love that. When my grandmother died, we donated all of her clothes, and you should have seen these people. They were just so happy to see you. I love going to nursing homes and just talking to people, you know, because it brightens their day. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
That's
And
one of the things I like.
that's,
Oh,
you know, that's what Christmas, etc., or any kind of time of year was for them. It was more
mhm.
of being with family and loved ones, and enjoying the moment of conversation and some food and stuff. But they didn't have money then. I don't know. They didn't. You know what I mean? There wasn't an abundance of anything. They saw the depression and the hardest of hardest times. So
Oh, yeah. My grandmother, she used to tell me all about what it was like when she lived through the depression, and she would try to teach me things, and she would say, "Sarah, now if anything ever happens to our government and you guys go back into a depression, this is going to help you." And oh, I miss her so much.
you know, my mother used to say because she was. Let's see, was she? Yeah, she was young during the depression, but her grandmother raised her because her mom had to travel
Mhm.
quite a distance away. She was a seamstress to get work, but she managed to get work and send money home for her mom and her daughter. And but mom would say, "Don't ever throw anything out." And to this day, I still have crap that I feel like saying, "It's rotten, Mom. Do you think I can throw it?" And Mom passed away years ago, but it's kind of like I'm still
Oh,
holding on to this stuff. You know, I don't know.
yeah. My grandmother taught me how to can foods.
I
She taught
wish I
me
knew.
all the different use. Oh, I love
Do you
doing that.
can
I'm
food,
not the
Sarah?
best farmer, huh?
Do you can foods?
Yes, like green beans or
Really?
shoot. Oh
Now,
yeah.
do
Oh
you have a
yeah.
canner?
Tomato,
Do you have a steam cooker or whatever you call it?
big old pot. Yep.
Okay, I wish you'd do a video on that, or two or three or four.
Oh,
I'd
okay. Well,
love to
sure.
know and now do you use cans and seal them, or do you use the bottles with the metal top?
Yes, the metal top. That's the only way I know how from the way grandma taught me. And you know, I even have videos like on my Facebook where I made butter. Like it's
Oh
so
my
easy and it's
God,
so much fun.
really?
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
please start doing them, because you know that is an art that's lost. I mean, there's so many arts that are lost, but that for sure, I don't know anybody around here.
Strawberry preserves. Oh gosh, you name it.
Mm.
And
Do you ever
yeah.
make that freezer jam that's strawberries and a bit of sugar and I think a bit
Oh
of
yeah.
pumpkin? And that is delicious, that jam.
Yes,
Oh my
it sure is.
God.
Yep.
Mm. Now, my mother-in-law was raised on a farm. And they never knew there was a depression. She said they only had to buy molasses and sugar. But they
Oh.
only ever had to buy that. And they had the rest of their food, you know, like they had chickens and cows and you name it.
Hmm.
But chickens and hens and whatever, pigs, you name it. And they grew their own vegetables. And what they didn't have, they'd trade off with neighbors. She said we never really knew. And the same with my mom. She said times are kind of tough, but times are always kind of tough. But I think this pandemic has really been a learning curve for all of us, hasn't it?
It really has. Honestly, it's kind of even helped me learn how to save. And
Yeah.
you know,
Like because you don't know what's around the corner.
no, we've kind of stockpiled some food because, like rice and stuff like that. And I've actually done more canning, and it's because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month. I mean, these are crazy times. It's times like we've never seen or even thought could happen.
No, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, just say, like, if they were to do like a martial law type thing, we're not allowed to leave our homes. Then what's
That's
going to
right.
happen?
I know, and
It's
I
scary.
know the government is trying to work on this as efficiently and effectively as possible, whichever government, because I don't think it matters which government it's in.
Mhm.
You know, everybody wants to trying to get ahead on the pandemic, and you know, the quickest thing is to isolate if they could get a virus. Then um, isolate people. Like, okay, get it, isolate if it gets worse and worse, isolate until you can get the vaccine. And then that first one that's out, you get a second one in a month's time. But it'll only last for a total of 3 months. Then what? Like, I hope, you know,
Right.
what happens after that? I don't know. I'm not understanding a lot of it. Do you know anybody that got corona in your area?
Yeah, actually, my doctor, he had
No.
COVID, and he had
Really?
a pulmonary embolism and passed away. A little
No.
over a month ago. Yeah, yeah.
Holy crap. That's something.
Yeah, it was pretty upsetting, and it really
Yeah.
threw a monkey wrench into things.
Were you able to
But
get
yeah,
another doctor?
not yet. I need to, but I haven't as of yet.
Our doctor,
Yeah.
thank God, she's a sweetheart. She comes from the United States, and
Hmm.
we just have such a shortage of doctors, so we went scouting around, and we pay things like the salary's pretty good, but we also pay the malpractice insurance and the living costs and things like all kinds of add-ons. You know, incentive packages, and we're not isolated here. How many dogs do you have? 3?
Well, we kind of have 6 dogs. I have 6 poodles.
Really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I can't help it. I'm kind of a poodle hoarder. I love my dogs. They're like my
I
kids.
thought you had 3.
I have 3 girls and I have 3 boys.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I love my miniature poodles.
Now, do you rescue them? Like,
No, well, we have one that's a rescue, and then,
ah,
yeah,
they're cute.
we they are, they are. My grandmother loved poodles and said the only poodles that could ever, or the only dogs that could ever be in this house were poodles. So I kind of kept going with poodles.
So,
But they're great dogs. They're really smart and they're fun.
oh yeah, they're cute and they're tiny, aren't they? You have the
They
smallest
are.
size. Huh.
Yeah. I think our littlest one, I think she's maybe 3 pounds.
Uh-huh.
So she's tiny.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Now,
And
what,
our biggest might be 10.
like burning question, they're tinier, so they probably would eat the same kind of dog food as anybody else, but just a smaller amount?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Donnie's a bit of a rig. Oh God. I think he doesn't think he's a dog. I think he thinks he's a
Oh.
rabbit. We have a problem. Are there dogs therapist anymore. He hops. He doesn't run, but he
Oh,
can walk. But he doesn't. He chooses to hop. What the hell? Did he see something on TV that I didn't notice him watching? Oh my God. Yeah.
yes, Top Cop. I love animals. My son, he's wanting to get, like Randy has, one of those little dragons. He's wanting one of those so bad.
Oh, they're interesting, aren't they?
They really are. I don't know where to go and buy one. I've never, you know,
Are they
had an
difficult to
animal.
care for? Do they have a lot of extra needs?
I don't know. I kind of want to talk to Randy about that and see what all I need to do to, get him one. He's been wanting one forever. And I told him, I said, well, maybe this Christmas. Who knows? We'll see.
Do you remember the
So,
one that Randy's daughter rescued? It was a biter. It
yeah.
had no tail. I think the
Oh,
daughter has it now, and I think it's settled down quite a bit. I think it got hurt wherever it was before. Huh.
I
We've
think
only
the
ever had.
cutest thing is Randy will say, well, yeah, I'm rocking my dragon. And I
I
just think that's
know.
the cutest thing.
Taking it for walks, getting it. Was
Yeah.
he joking when she said she had a little scarf for it? Oh, Randy was recommending a Netflix movie. I don't know if you have. Do you have Netflix?
I do.
Did you watch Hillbilly Elegy?
Oh, no.
Oh my,
I vaguely watch TV or anything like that.
oh my God! Well,
Is
it's
it
on
good?
Netflix. Hillbilly, yeah. I thought maybe I wouldn't understand it, but oh my God, it was good. I heard about that. Well, yeah, Netflix can. They'll get that in 10 years, but actually, it was there. I watched it. I'll have to go back and watch it again because I missed a lot of finer points.
Mhm. What's it
It
called
was great.
again?
Hillbilly Elegy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was in our top 10, so it was well worth it. Oh, and a little bit of a hint: if you don't live in, or even if you live in the U.S., you can take
Hmm.
Amazon Prime for free for 30 days. So you can send the gifts that you might be purchasing for people with no shipping. Da, 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 da.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we do have Amazon Prime, and um, I love Amazon Prime. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Well, I have it too. And what I did, there was people on the list from the UK. So I kind of took that one for 30 days too. I'll just have to remember to remove my credit card. So I'm not paying for Prime all over the place. But yeah, that helps. And but
It
I
does.
find it's
It
just so,
does. For sure.
it makes me feel good. It did. I don't know.
Yeah, and I never understood that until I did it. Like paying it
Yeah,
forward. You never really know how good that feels until you do it. So when you are able to help someone, it
yeah,
leaves you it leaves you smiling, it leaves it you know that
yeah,
you was able to do something for somebody else in need, and that's what makes it worth it. And nobody needs to prove that or prove that they did. Just as long as you know you did it. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
yep. And the thing is
Nobody needs to do
when I
something.
was first reading the list from Diane's chat, I
Mhm.
wouldn't have said word one except they didn't have the addresses, and I thought, oh my God, am I the really stupid here? Or and only one actually had a mailing address. Like it was privatized, but attached. The rest didn't. And that's to speak out, I guess. But I hated to, but it was like
I
a really
almost
great option.
messaged Diane. I almost messaged her because when I purchased whatever I purchased, I seen the person's name come up, and I'm like, oops. I don't know if they wanted their name to show up and where they were from. I don't know how that works, but
Yeah,
I don't
but you
know.
know what? Like some of them, I didn't. I forgot to remove my name, and then I've been putting reindeer names: Mrs. Claus, Santa
Hmm.
Claus, the neighbor on the street. I think I put one. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying boo to the cat. Just kind of fun. Yeah, but I forgot it first, and I thought, well, so oh well. But
Yeah.
some of them have already received them, which is kind of cool. I'm just excited, and I'm really proud of Trish and that Trish for taking a stand. Really am.
Oh my gosh, I am too. I was in tears listening to her.
Yeah.
Like she really wants to help, and she wants to make somebody's Christmas good. She wants to be able to pay somebody's phone bill. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there listening to her, and I'm like, wow, Trisha, I mean,
Yep.
she really is all about this. And I'm so proud of her for doing that, you know?
Yep. Has anyone seen BTS? I felt bad that she got so upset yesterday.
Oh, I've seen that too. I
She's so
haven't seen
sweet.
her around.
Yep. She's such
She
a
is,
sweet
and she
person.
wears her heart on her sleeve. So I know
Yeah.
that, you know, this whole situation has kind of put her into a predicament, you know, because I
Yeah.
know that she cares about Laura. I know she cares about Trisha. BTS is one of those people. I feel bad for her too. I haven't seen her though, and I
I
don't know.
think
I
she
hope she's
was.
doing all right.
I think she was told to get out or something. Well,
Oh
poor
gosh.
Chef. I don't know. The thing is, uh, I don't know. You know, it's odd, but we have drives. I don't know if you do this where you guys are, but like in our local grocery stores, there's a big container, and you can
Hmm.
just wrap gifts in there. Put a B or a G and like an age range kind of on it. It's the real secret Santa thing. And we've got so many families this year. Like I think I was typing in the chat yesterday. My husband went and made like everybody usually just makes a donation, like and he got 7 thank you cards, and there were such heartbreaking cards. When you'd read them, he went back and donated more. He had to. He thought, oh my God, I don't have a clue who these people are, but it's telling me that there's a lot of people that obviously need help, and they were like, oh, good. A lot of people were coming back, and they didn't know if the cards would be a good idea or not, but just people kind of saying, yeah, I don't know, just giving their thanks, and everything is very, no one knows who they are, kind of, unnamed or nameless,
Yeah.
but dang. And then we have a Salvation Army here,
Oh,
and
the Salvation Armies are wonderful.
we've donated there every year, so we donate. But we also went to the food banks in our province because they're trying to provide like Christmas dinner for as many families as they possibly can, and my husband got to speaking to one of the guys, and he said, well, we're not even going to hit a quarter of the families that need it, but we're trying our darndest. And they've had to kind of jump backwards. Instead of helping everybody that asked for it, they have to go to income and how many are in the family and stuff like that. But I mean, they're trying to help as many as possible, and they said if they keep getting donations in, it may curb. And then if the stores start donating things like turkeys, that'll take an edge off things for them too. But it's just it's just that way all around. Have you got snow there?
We do have snow.
Huh.
It's almost melted now, but yeah, we got snow a few days ago, and a few towns up, we was in a level 1 emergency. So,
What's that?
um,
What's a level 1 emergency?
meaning that you should only go out and drive if you need to go to work
So it was snowing that bad?
or to get essentials. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Icy
I'm in
road?
Ohio, so we get a lot of like the
Freezing.
Michigan weather. Hmm.
And my niece is in Windsor, and they get a lot of freezing rain. Like they might get snow, but there's always freezing rain in it, and the highways
Hmm.
are just like ice. If she doesn't have, I keep saying, put studded tires on. Nope. So she's been in an awful lot of accidents. Luckily, she hasn't been injured too badly. Because it's more like local driving, like around Windsor. But now we're actually getting warmer weather. My husband was wondering what in the heck.
Really?
Like we had snow, and then it kind of warmed up, and then we've had green Christmases, and then on the 26th we get a blizzard with about 3 feet of snow. So, but it just means the winter goes longer. That's all. Do you normally get a lot of snow this time of year?
We used to, but the weather in Ohio has been so oppositional. One year it'll be a white Christmas and we'll get a lot of snow, and then the next, hardly none at all.
Now,
It's not like it used to be. Ohio used to get a lot of snow, but
okay,
I think the weather and seasons are kind of
warm,
changing, so we don't get as
global
much as we
warming.
used to.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah, because when we were growing up, in the 20s. Joking. But no, when we were growing up, we could snow up to the second story of our house. I mean, not that our parents would ever let us open the window, but if you did, you could jump in the snow. Not that you'd stay on top of the snow either, but there was a lot of snow. And you'd be stormed in for days and lose the power in the whole nine. It was great. Well, as kids, you thought it was great, but then, I mean, we got to less and less snow. Now we're getting a more of your weather, your warmer weather, and it
Mm,
seems like you guys are getting a flush of our, you know what I mean? We're exchanging. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's all I have to say. Did you eat
crazy
lunch yet?
Gemini, I agree. She said, I would take 2 feet of snow over an inch of ice any day.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not the greatest driver when it comes to ice
I'm
or
good
black ice.
now. Um,
Oh, gosh.
I'm kind of good. Well, let me put it this way. Um, when we first moved home, I was on a circuit and it was all like not hills, mountains, and like 45-degree inclines, fairly high.
Mm,
And
mm,
they'd get icy really quick. And as fast as they'd try to get the salt on it, it was really cold. That wouldn't work until it warmed up a bit. So it'd be nothing, and they didn't have guardrails even along most of, the mountain edge. And I think, oh yeah, I'm headed over that place for sure. Or
yeah.
like there'd be moose that it would have fallen in the road and you've got to try and stop and it's ice. But yeah, ice, I guess you just learn by making every mistake you possibly can. And a lot of it's highway driving. But like when I first started driving was in our hometown, and my dad usually had chains or studs, chains around the tire, or like you'll see
Mhm.
on tractors, or studs. But studs here have to come out on April 15th, and we get snow up until June. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So see, like where you guys might be getting it now, we keep getting it until then. It's like, okay, we're done. So so are you gonna do any baking for Christmas?
Probably. Usually we do. I think things might be different. If we can't go to dinner with Brandon's family, then we'll most likely do it here. It's kind of a tradition to always do Christmas and Thanksgiving, any kind of holiday setting here at this
Well,
house. It's
yeah.
been
That's
that way for years and years and years. So, yeah.
your tree is
Um,
nice. That's a Christmas tree
oh,
right behind
thank
you.
you.
Is that this
Thank you.
year's? No.
Yes.
Is it? Oh, it's
Oh,
so
wait a
pretty.
minute. The one in the picture right here?
Yes.
No, that's actually a couple of years old, and that's Brandon's mom's tree.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you. Yeah, that's at her home. Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Now,
uh,
yeah. Sorry.
Tracy just dropped a link, and it's a PayPal for let's see, T, Breaking the Silence wrote a community post, and if
Hmm.
everybody could go over there and read that, I'd be so grateful. Tracy's dropping a PayPal for let's see, Miss Leah, and I think every little dime, penny, dollar could help out if you guys could, just take a little bit and help Miss Leah for groceries and utilities. She's having a hard time right now. So,
Yeah. I mean, for some people, like it's not even thought of gifts, and they might feel lucky to open a can of beans. That's it. So I
yeah.
mean, people can't even afford the very basics. We're just starting winter too. So, all those. Do you have many things bottled? They'd make great Christmas gifts.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you have many things that you preserved? They'd make a wonderful Christmas gift. Just saying.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. My grandmother used to make this homemade corn, and I don't know how to
Mm.
explain it, but there's it's kind of like fried corn or whatever, and then you freeze it, and then we can dethaw it and eat it. But every Christmas, I have to take that to Brandon's mom's, and I don't have it down pat like my grandmother did,
Uh huh.
but we're down to like the last 2 packs, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is probably the last time I'm ever going to taste this.
You know what I make, and I'm not sure how many I'll get, but I used to make about 19 to 24 pans of lasagna and give them out as gifts. Well, like not to everybody, but to a lot of people. With some mozzarella cheese, if I gave 2 pans, and those bread loaf pans, that aluminum foil pans you
Mhm,
buy? Yeah, that's
mhm.
the size. So one of those is 2 to 3 servings. So, oh my God, Miss Lee is facing eviction. I thought that was,
Yeah.
I thought there was a stay on that in the States. No? Good
I
Lord.
think it depends on the state. I don't think that every
Uh,
state is like that right now. I
oh
think it
my
was
God.
for a little while, but
Oh my God. A friend of mine
yeah.
had a massive heart attack. Around the time Tracy made application for, disability. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
you know what she was told, which I hope Tracy's still in the chat. They stopped any processing until the government has changed hands. Stopped it just before the election, which should be, appropriate timing. She will get back paid for, like, because she's been in the hospital and she's had a second later one since then and a stroke. She she
Oh
can't work.
gosh.
She has her own insurance business. I mean, she said, I never thought I'd face it, and she never bothered. She always had lots of money coming in. She thought, well, no, I'm not going to waste it. I'm always healthy. Boom, she had a heart attack.
I'm
And
so
yeah,
sorry.
I didn't, well, she's tough. She'll go kicking and
Mhm.
screaming when she's 98 or something. But yeah, preserves it. Or like there's an aunt of mine. She passed away, but she used to give a strawberry jam. The freezer jam, and
Mhm.
like a lemon topping that you could put on top of cake or whatever, or even biscuits. It was really nice, and sometimes a blueberry preserve. Oh, that'd be great on tea biscuits or rolls or anything like that. Yeah, and that is if you can get them in the summer. But yeah,
I wish I
Tracy.
had copied down all of my grandmother's recipes. I let my daughter have all my grandma's recipes, but oh my gosh, she used to make the best like um, desserts and cookies, and
Ooh, what kind of
I miss
desserts?
those. She would make this one, and gosh, I forget what it's called. Um, but it had like mixed fruit, and then it had this
Cake.
cheese topping, but it was real sweet, like a
Ah.
custard maybe on top
Oh,
of that,
oh,
and
I
then
think I know what
shredded
that is.
cheese on top of that. I
Is it
can't
a
remember
is
what
it
the
a pudding on the bottom? Like a pudding?
yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like a
It's
pudding.
like a how's it spelled? Mm, Not compost because we know what that is. It's a COMPTE, I think. There's one name for, but basically it's kind of like a refined pudding, but it's really
Yes, and it's
delicious.
so yes, and
Yeah,
for the life of me, I couldn't make that if I tried. I
I
wouldn't
have
even
not.
know where to begin.
They're not hard. It's just if you get the recipe, and a lot of those recipes say medium heat, a pinch of this and a dab of that. And so I've got a lot of my grandmother's recipes, like for tea biscuits and rolls
Oh,
and
yes.
pineapple upside down cake and things like that. That right from scratch, but they're not hard to make. And you know what? You have to make them 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then you can kind of adjust because our ovens are different than theirs were. Theirs were coal or
Mhm.
wood or whatever. The fuel was
And my
of the
grandma,
day.
she would make these like phenomenal dump cakes. Oh my gosh.
What's a dump cake?
Well, you put like cherries on the bottom, those can of cherries or whatever
Oh,
kind of cherries you have, and then you put cake mix on top of that, and then you
uh-huh.
melt butter and pour it on top of that, and then bake it. I
Ooh.
haven't made one since she passed, but oh, hers were so good,
Oh my
so
gosh,
good.
that does sound really good. That kind of
Oh, it
sounds like a
was.
pineapple upside down cake. Well, you put the pineapple
Mhm.
and the maraschino cherries on the bottom, and then you have to turn it around. The turning around is the part that grabs me, but oh well. I'll get better at it, I guess. But people don't bake as much as they used to. My gosh, my dad, what a baker and a cook. My grandmother, who was from Boston, she used to bake a lot, and he was a baby and much younger than his older siblings. So she just plunked him at the table, and he got to watch his mother bake. And what a baker and a cook! Oh my God, the man could cook circles for anybody.
My sister, she had a bakery here in my town. Um,
Really?
but she
Mm.
was a great. It was called the Cake Shop here in Beaver
Ooh.
Creek, and she had to sell it because things were
Oh.
just kind of unraveling. And yeah, I shouldn't talk about that, but she made this icing, and it was like this buttercream icing, and it was so good, and that's what
Mm.
drawed people to her bakery was
Well,
the
for
buttercream icing she would use.
you know
It
what
was
I hate?
delicious.
What I hate is when bakeries cut corners now and they buy this pre-mixed stuff and it tastes like metal. It doesn't even taste
Mhm.
like icing. Like I love a good buttercream icing. Or
Oh, yeah.
did you ever make boiled frosting? It's so
No.
good. Oh, it's you use egg whites and you beat them in
Mhm.
with in a whatever bowl mixer, and then you put sugar and a bunch of other stuff. I've never made it myself. My sister had no success with it, and I thought, yeah, mine. But it puffs up really high the more you're beating it, and you put or if you don't put sugars, then some people use corn syrup. But anyway,
Mhm.
it's like a boiled frosting is what it's called, but at some point, it's in a pot. You see, you can tell I've never made it, but when my dad made it, it sit about 6, 7 inches on top of a dark chocolate cake. Ooh,
Oh, that sounds so good.
it was delish. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I used to kind of wonder where all the rest of that stuff went because we get a piece of it as kids. Weren't glad to just go whole hog in the cake or anything, but there was never any left. But I think he'd bring some to his parents, and his brother lived right across the road, and he'd probably bring some to them. But he could cook. Oh my God. And we buy like things like frozen French fries, but my dad used to make them homemade. Oh God, they were good.
Oh, I bet those were great.
I know, but do you make them? I don't.
No,
I wish I
I like
did, but
doing fried potatoes with my potatoes. I'm not really much of a
mm.
French fry person. I love fried potatoes
Oh
with
God,
some
they're good.
onions in it.
Do
Yeah.
you put a coating on your fried potatoes?
A little bit of flour,
Oh
just a little.
really? Then do you
Yeah.
roll them in that ahead of time? Like,
No, I sprinkle it on. It's just something my grandma would do
oh. Do you
with some
eat
salt.
do you eat biscuits with gravy? Because
I
I've heard
do.
really. What?
Sausage
How do you make
gravy is
gravy?
probably
Oh, how do
well,
you make the
I
gravy?
brown my flour. You
Yeah.
brown the flour, you add some milk, and I'm telling you, the best way to do some gravy is to take maple sausage and use maple sausage. Um,
Mm.
that's the best way I've ever learned how to do
So
biscuits and gravy. Is
you serve the sausage with it?
yeah, you just add, you fry up your sausage and then you
Yeah.
add it in after you've already made the gravy, and it makes it
Oh,
taste so
oh my God, that does sound good. Mm. Do you make homemade beans? I
good.
love
I like to do. Did you say beans?
homemade beans. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like to do like 15 bean soup and put a ham
Oh,
hock in.
I've never made that. Sounds good.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Mm.
good. Yeah.
Now I make homemade beans, like with the brown sauce, but I put pork chops on top of them, just the little flat ones. They're not
Oh
very
gosh.
expensive. And they cook and they
Yes.
just fall apart. To die for. And if I can't get those, I get like pork fat or something, or bacon. You have to have
Naturally.
something in it. But you can't freeze them very well, or I haven't found a way. They just go to mush when you freeze them. But they're so
Hmm.
good for a person. Mm.
Oh yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
very gassy the next day, so maybe I should just buy Beano. My grandmother
Beano
had
no Beano gas.
my grandmother had quite the accent. The longest time I thought the way you properly should say car is car. And
Caw.
and I thought, a fork and knife, I thought you should say fork. So I noticed, my first year in school, they were kind of like looking at me and reprimanding me, and I think, no, it's a fork. This my grand. It's funny though, I mean, I was listening, getting her accent, and she was very Massachusetts. But my grandfather was from New York, and he had a completely different accent. mom's dad. And it's funny how a kid will kind of pick up these accents. Or, easily assimilate the accents.
Happy, 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 yes. Love those.
Oh, do you have happy? Do you like twice baked? Oh, I've been doing that lately. You bake them, you take them out, you scoop them out, and whatever meat you have, whether it's something left over, then you mix it all up and you put it back in, and you can sprinkle cheese and back in the oven. Mmm.
Have a great day, Mandy, Mixed Media Queen.
Oh, there's Mandy. She's such a sweetheart. Has anybody seen Winky around? I haven't.
No, her mom passed
Yeah,
away, and
yeah.
I feel so bad for her. My heart really goes out to Winky. She's such a kind lady. And I hate this for her, especially around the holidays.
She was looking so forward to getting her mom home because she couldn't visit her in the hospital. They shut it down so she couldn't go in with the COVID. And her mom would call crying, and her mom wasn't getting any better when they finally realized, well, yeah, we can't do any more, but you have to get this equipment in, and we'll release her.
Mm-hmm.
They released her that evening. She passed away just after midnight. So she was home for like about 5 hours, and she passed away.
That's so hard. My heart aches for her. I know that feeling.
She said they were like sisters that finish each other's sentences. And you could tell they had that kind of a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
which is rare, and it's wonderful. So she sounded like she was a real sweetheart. I mean, obviously, her daughter grew up to be just like her, so I'm sure she was quite wonderful. Yeah.
Hey, DJ, I hope your back's doing okay. God love you. She broke her back.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Is there surgery she can get for that?
I hope so.
Lord. I had back surgery way back when, and I couldn't walk until I had it, but I'm telling you, you don't realize your back is kind of like the whole thing in your body, when that kind of goes sideways, but I've never had a broken back. And I'm probably holding you up. You probably need to go. Did I clean up the chat?
Jump off here.
Yeah.
I was going to jump off here in a few minutes and take these dogs out and let them run around a little bit. I know they're probably aching to get outside.
Well, they love it. Well, do yours like out in the snow or?
Oh yeah, they love to go out there and run in the snow. They love it when it snows. They try to eat it. They'll play with it. They're funny. I'm grateful we have a big backyard for them to play in. So.
Now, because we get large dumps of snow, our shelties will try and eat their way out in the pen. And the snow is way over them, and you're thinking, wait, now where'd the dog go? Because you can only see a little cone eventually. But then they get cold. But anyway, thank you for having me up. I know I kind of went on side tangents, but it is.
No, I love talking to you. Thank you for coming up.
Just don't let me on panel. Starve me out.
No, you can come up on panel anytime you'd like. I enjoy your company.
And if I ever do a live, you're more than welcome. As a matter of fact, I'll be begging you ahead of time. Sarah, come up.
Anyway, everybody start doing lives.
Well, how many people? Of course, if people are having problems sleeping, I could. You're right. You're right. I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just come to me if you want to go to sleep, folks.
That's right. Well, no, don't say that. Everybody should sub up to Mac 11 Lynn. I think she's a great asset in this community, and she's a sweet lady. So.
Did you say ass or asset? Oh, you said asset. Pardon me. Just being funny.
Thank you, Tiffany Marie.
I'm enjoying that I'm getting to know Tiffany Marie a lot better. Yeah,
it's interesting. She's actually really kind. Yeah. There's been a lot of things that's been said about Tiffany, and it's not all true. I mean, Tiffany does have a heart. She has compassion for others, and she's actually really nice.
But it's kind of nice to get to see people out of the environment that you originally got to know them in, Yeah, I think
DJ, if you go over to Breaking the Silence channel, go look at her community post. There is a girl in need, and Breaking the Silence posted her PayPal. Go over there and read it. I think it'll touch your heart. And you know, this girl, she does need some help.
Oh.
So I'm gonna jump off here, Mac
Yep.
11, but I'm so glad you came up. I
Well,
really
thank you for
am.
having me up, and we'll see you in chats.
Yeah, thank you. You guys, I'm gonna jump off here because I've got some dogs that need to go outside. Sabrina, I love you. Galway girl, thank you so much for dropping links for me. I really appreciate you. And thank you guys for joining the Enlightened, because we are enlightened from all the BS. All right, you guys have a great day, and go over to Breaking the Silence and look at our community post. And if you're able to help this young lady that needs help, please do that. So thank you again for coming to hang out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.